Well, good evening. Welcome back to VP4 TV and welcome to Virtual Pool 4 Online. We're back after all these black ball matches we've had. We're back for our weekly Friday night 9-ball, and the good news is we've got a full house. It was full up 25 minutes before the tournament was due to start. We're still another 6 minutes away or so. And of course, with it being full, the draw has already been done, the bracket's already been set. We've got MC Clarkey and Bedhead going at it at the top of the bracket. We've got Larry in his usual spot, just in second in the bracket, second or third of the second match. Usually that's where he very often ends up, and that's where he is again. And he's going to be playing Zangetsu, who's having a good run in the black ball tournament. Let's see how he adapts to 9-ball against Larry. We've got fantastic Mr. Fox against Spectre Dawn. That's going to be a good one as well. We've got Chimpy against Ice Age. Simanx against Jova. John Boo against Chase One Around. BP Monster against Travelling TT. And Tommy against, presume that's Mimic, or meant to represent Mimic. Races to 7 on the winner's side, races to 4 on the one loss side, and of course don't forget the handicap. It's a money ball handicap. So it's up to those players who are getting the handicaps to make use of them. And that means that it can still be an open tournament, provided not only making use of your handicap, but doing the right things as well to get the benefit of it. So there's some good matches to start the tournament tonight. I don't know what one to go with. I might leave that to go with the majority choice for anybody that's watching, if I get any viewers, that is. So the black ball tournament continues on. Well, if you don't know, you can go and look at it on the YouTube channel. We had a couple of big matches last night. We had the match between Zangetsu and Mark Shark, which Zangetsu was just doing most things a little bit better than what Mark Shark was doing, and went through fairly comfortably to the next round. He's now through to round 3, but Zangetsu is now going to either play Cobra or semi-pro in that round 3 match, so that's a huge step up, and he's going to have to raise his game. Regardless of who he plays in round 3, he's going to have to step up to that next level. So it's a rapid rise in quality now that he's going to meet either of those two guys. So good luck to him in that one. We also had the match between Mal and Albinario last night, which was the one that appeared in the bracket. I had intended to do the Zangetsu match with Mark Sharp, but it started at 7 PM and Albinario and Mal started at 7:15, and by about 7:30 that match was over. Mal had had enough. Albinario, and the match actually started. Albinario won the lag and broke dry. Mal came in, run out the rack, so it was a good bonus start for Mal, who then promptly broke off in rack 2 and scratched. And Albinario found his way out in rack 2 to tie the match. And then there was a couple of incidents in the match. I don't know whether it was rack 3, but certainly they were fairly close together, but I think it might have been rack 3, I'm not sure, but in the course of events, Mal had put Albinario into a snooker, and Albi took his time, lined up the kick shot, and kicked not only kicked correctly, but knocked the ball that he was trying to kick into the pocket. And so then Albinario went on to win the rack. And then it was 3-1. I don't know whether it was the last one to go 4-1 up, but Mal did the same again. He got in, but he couldn't get out, so he laid a snooker for Albinario. And once again, it was just a one rail kick, I think it was, and Albinario kicked it in again. Might have been two rails, I can't remember, but anyway, Albinario kicked it in again and finished the rack. He only needed to kick that ball in and then pot the 8 ball, and he was 4-1 up. And then I don't know what came over Mal, but he decided that he'd seen enough, and he conceded the match and left the building, never to be seen again. Now he's still on the one-loss side, but I have big doubts that he'll show, because I don't think he'll be able to show his face after quitting last night. Like I said in the lobby, I've been waiting for some sort of excuse to come through the grapevine as to why he quit, but I've got my ideas of why he quit, and I don't think I'm probably that far off the mark in my assumption. But anyway, that's done and dusted. Albinario is through, and we've got some big matches still to come in that tournament. There are matches scheduled. There's one for tomorrow morning, I think it is. I'll be at work at that time, and I'm sure Tornado Tam will be glad of that. He's got a match against, I think it's Ice Age tomorrow now. Tam should have a reasonable chance in that one to give a better account of himself. And then there's, I can't remember the other matches, but there is a couple of matches scheduled, I think, for Saturday. But there's still a good deadline time for the other matches to be arranged. So they will come, and I'll hopefully be around. I certainly will be next week, because I'm off next week. So nobody's watching the stream yet, I presume. Nobody in the chat. I've not even had a hello. Right, well, the rooms are up. And, well, Chimpy's playing Ice Age. He should come through that one. Good evening to Chimpy. We have the Black Ball tournament is underway. Cobra's playing Brainflout. They might be the only two that's in it, I don't know. We've got the Mr. Fox Spectre Dawn match. We've got MC Clarkey and Bedhead. We've got, you know what? I'm going in to watch Larry and Zangetsu. I'm interested to see how that's going to go. So we'll pop in there. And just in time, they're just about to lag for the break. And, well, Zangetsu's a 2000 rated player, so he's getting a 6 ball. And Larry's won the lag. Good evening to John Boo. And that 6 ball, I think, is very generous for a 2000 rated player. I mean, that's not a big target to get to. And Larry has broke dry. Zangetsu. I don't know why Steve keeps saying Zangetsu. Zangetsu. Or Zangetsu. Maybe that's how we should pronounce it. But anyway, Zangetsu trying a delicate little cut in the 2. That's going to hang up, I think. Oh no, just dead weight. Absolutely stone dead weight, and it dropped in. This is a bit of a problem. Yeah, that was always asking for trouble. Trying to come back at that angle down for the 4. It was always going very dangerously close to the pocket. Now I think Larry needs a nice kiss here, and he hasn't got it. So let's see how Larry's kicking boots are tonight. Well, this is a second chance that I think Zangetsu never thought he was going to get there, because I think he thought Larry would have got on that ball and got out. So it's a second bite at the cherry. This is dead straight, this 4-ball. Could have done with any sort of angle. He might have to pinch a bit. No, he's just erring on caution, because this is not good for getting good in the 6-ball where he is. He's more or less stuck to the rail. He's cutting this 5 into the top pocket, and the cue ball's just simply running up the table. He can only get to the top of it, and you'd have to jack up to try and do something, and that multiplies the difficulty in the shot tenfold. So it's going to be a toughie. Yeah, he had to do a bit more with the cue ball when he potted that ball to get it out at a better angle, which would have again made it probably easier to have a shot in a 6. I mean, this will thin cut, but yeah, he's pushed the boat out of there, but once again he's got away with it. He'll settle for that. I don't think this is a great bank, this ball, because it's stuck to the rail, and Larry doesn't like it either. But again, it's a third chance, and this time Larry's brought the 6 into play, and of course that is Zangetsu's money ball. He just has to roll it in, and it's 1-0. Well, he's looking at the 7. I think I don't even think he's aware that he's got the 6-ball. He's looking at the 7. He's maybe going to try and do something on this 7. You see, and that's why he's missed the 6. He's looked around to see where the 7 is, and he's thinking about getting the cue ball over for the 7, and he doesn't realise all he needed to do was roll the 6 in. And that's a big mistake. That's exactly what he did there. He had a quick glance round to see where the 7 was, and his full concentration was on getting in the 7 rather than just rolling the 6 in, because he's not aware he's getting the 6-ball. Well, Larry, again, has missed the 8-ball this time, so this is the 4th time already in the first rack that Zangetsu should have this rack won. And he's got to pot the 8 and the 9, which he should do. Well, it's a strange first rack. Larry's making a handful of mistakes. Zangetsu made a big one, not remembering he's on the 6-ball as his money ball, and then Larry misses again. So the error strewn first rack eventually goes to Zangetsu. But you know, Larry had set that 6-ball up for him, and the rack should have been over there and then. Now, had Zangetsu potted that 6-ball there, then he would obviously have won the rack, and he would have realised he was getting a 6-ball. That he might still not realise he's getting a 6-ball. I don't think he's paying any attention to the hunt. We'll soon find out. Is this going to... I think he's okay. He's still on the 2. But Larry's overhit it. He's the wrong side of the 4. Now, he could just roll this in and leave himself further away with a dodgy cut in the 5. Well, he's trying to go 3 rails. The pace is a bit short. He's almost there. And again, he's going to have to draw into this to get it tight in the corner, you know, like that. Well, he's trying to check it. He's managed to hold it. I thought he couldn't hold it, but he's okay. He put a lot of inside left on there to get it pushed back down the left side of the table. Nice angle in the 8 ball, a bit close to the rail, but the angle's good. Just pot this straight back up to tie the match. So Larry breaking off, the 4 ball has gone. How does that look? That'll do. I'll just drop through with the right angle to come back up off this 5. He's just gone out again a wee bit close to the rail. I mean, he can jack up a wee bit, he shouldn't have any issue. So this is going to be a quick recovery for Larry. He should be 2-1 up after this, provided he can get back down for the 9. And again, loads of room to get this cue ball down the left hand side. Well, he's almost gone too straight, but he can go forward or draw back, whichever he wants to do, as long as he gets the pace right, and that'll be sufficient. Welcome to Tommy. So Larry takes the lead. And again, dry. Those balls didn't really want to run very far. 2 of them ran, but the rest of them just split open, but they didn't open great. So another dry one. But Zangetsu, I don't think can see enough of the 3 to try and play the combo. But he's immediately given Larry a start there. I don't know what he tried to do, but he certainly didn't get it done. Now Larry, of course, has this problem with the 3 and the 4. And that's nowhere near set as a combo, so he might have to get nasty here, Larry. Well, he's tried to nudge something. In fact, he's actually nudged the 6 onto the 4 and left a combo. He'll take that. Well, he's gone for the bank. He's played that one well. I thought he'd have just nudged that in, but it's set, dead set bank will do nicely. Good evening to Mark. So Zangetsu's going to have to come up with some better safety than that last shot he just played. It was a sort of nothing shot. There was no, well, it didn't give us much idea of what he was attempting to do. And it gave Larry a free go. Now Larry is going to have to run, and he's going to have to get below this 9, and the pace looks perfect. That will do nicely. Just a dead weight roll in. And it's 3-1 to Larry. So after that dodgy first rack, where Zangetsu had 4 chances to win it and eventually got there from Larry's errors, Larry settled down straight into a 3-1 lead. So the 8 had gone in the break. Larry with a shot in the 1. This is another one of these testers. The cue ball's going in the right direction back across the table. It's all about the pot. You don't have to worry about the cue ball. As long as you get the pace right, you're going to be there or thereabouts for a shot in the 4. Now this here, forward and down the left side, as we look just to come back down past that middle pocket, well, he's actually got too much on it. He's got too much spin, too much English, and it's taken a much sharper line to the first rail. And now Larry's got a testy one. Again, he's got the pace right, cue ball back in play. So it's now all just down to the angle of the 7 ball, and the same shot again for Larry. Once he gets this 6 ball in, just wants that angle. And the only way this goes wrong is if the cue ball goes right into the middle pocket on the left hand side. And this time he's got it better. Good evening to Simanx. The full house in Friday night 9 ball this week. It was all signed up and sealed 25 minutes before it started. So people are getting the idea that if you want to get in, you've got to get in quick. Well, Larry breaks off in rack number 6 and it's dry. And so this is Zangetsu's first real shot since he played that poor safety 2 racks ago. He's had to sit and watch this, and now he's got himself hooked in the 2, and he's going to have to put a bit of spin on this, bit of right English if he's going to go that way. The line with the 3 ball is to the right of the 3 ball, unless he's trying to chip it. Now he's struggling to find the line in this table, because the line to kick that 2 was that side of the 3, to go that direction. Because again, whenever you're hitting a rail without English, the tangent line that it goes to the rail is the tangent line that it comes off. So if that was 45 degrees, it should be coming off at 45 degrees. And he decided to try and go this way. I think the idea was maybe to catch that ball and run up the table. But he certainly didn't pick the line very well. But Zangetsu gets another life, albeit it's a tough one. But the 3 ball does cut. And he then has to just rely on a good bit of running to the cue ball that he's going to have a shot in the 4 even if he gets it. And that'll do it. Maybe not. I mean, the nudge in the 4 was perfect. But the clip on the 9 has done him. And, well, it's not on the rail. That's the only good thing about it. And he's pushed it to the rail first. Now Larry could run for cover here if he wants, off that right side of the 4. The dangerous thing about it is he's got to get cover, but he's not interested. He's going all out for the pot. Now this is a bit of a dilemma for Larry. I think he's got to go around the table here and get the spin working. Now he could end up, I was going to say hooking himself. He hasn't hooked himself, but this is another little one he's got to get flush. It's off the rail enough to make it reasonably comfortable. Now, what does he want to do here? Does he want to try coming back off the 8 or just letting it roll through? Because you get the 9 into the side, no problem. Just roll it onto the long rail, back off the long rail, and a pot into the side. That would be the simplest way of doing things rather than trying to draw it back. Yep, he's just got the pace on it to go through, and that's nice. It's the most obvious and simplest shot without doing anything with the cue ball other than just controlling the pace. So Larry's running away with this match at the moment, but a 6-ball money ball can turn it very quickly, and straight away Zangetsu gets his chance because Larry's scratched, and now Zangetsu with ball in hand. Well, he wants to apply the same sort of thinking as he does in black ball. Now, the other thing I've just realised also is that Zangetsu hasn't got a playing cue for 9-ball, which I'm sure he had one for black ball, but that would have been the house cue anyway, because it gives you the house cue automatically. He might not actually have any cues in his profile, but he's only got the house cue for this, and of course it doesn't break the balls well because there's no power in it, like having a decent break cue. And don't forget that there was ball in hand, and he couldn't get that one to the pocket, so you can't be doing that. Well, I mean, the house cue is you can get by with it to play 9-ball, but it's don't expect any decent breaks with a house cue. You'll get the odd one, but it just doesn't have the kick in it to get those balls moving a great deal. Well, no prizes for guessing what's going to happen here. I think Larry's just going to nail him to the 5. That's fairly straightforward to do. No, Larry's decided he's just want to get this done. Taking risks. Perfect opportunity to tie Zangetsu up there. Larry's got lucky that he's left his snooker. Now again, Zangetsu's trying to pick a line to hit this 3-ball. He's going, that's the better line. He's just clipped to 5. So I can tell from a couple of attempts that Zangetsu has tried in kicking at a ball where he's not used to this table. I don't think 9-ball is his game. Or it's also the fact that all he's probably been doing for the last 2 weeks is playing black ball, and then he's coming back to a sort of alien environment trying to play 9-ball. Well, this is going to have to be a good one from Larry. Nice and firm, and a good bit of draw. Well, he's left it short. He's left it with a thin cut, and you can get to it. Well, Tommy's in a hurry tonight. He's gone through 7 racks to 1 against Mimic. Where's the cue ball going, Larry? Well, there you go. Now, There's a mistake from Larry. And a gift for Zangetsu with ball in hand to get another rack in the board. And the ball has dropped. No shot in the one. Now let's see if we can find a better shot here. I don't think he's got much of an option. He could just clip the one. He'd probably end up running into the 9, but if he just clips it and tries to push it down behind the 2 and 4, he can go over this way. Well, he's went all out. Had a bang at a combo, got the combo. And now another thin one in the 1. And is he going to be able to see this 2 ball? That's the question. Because he's heading up the table. And that 6 and 5 ball could be a hindrance unless he runs into one of them. Well, like I say, the 6 and 5 ball could have been a problem. And it is. And he won't have a jump cue either, I don't think. Be surprised if he does. And he doesn't. He's not trying to jump with this. He's not trying to do a Yamaguchi Taru, is he? No, he's tried a little bend. That, well, this shot that Larry's got, I don't know whether he wants to try and stun this firm over to the other side or whether he wants to draw back. He'd really need to hit it hard if he's going to stun it across. He's just trying to go far enough to be able to see the 3. And again, he can just get enough of it, I think. Playing it with bottom left to spin around the 2 rails. And he might have overcooked this. And this is the prime time for things to go wrong for Larry, because of course now he's got to hit the 5, which he has done. But he couldn't hit it thick enough to put it safe, so Zangetsu has another chance. An awkward 5 to start with, 6 ball wide open in the middle of the table, and he only needs the 2 of them. So it all hinges on how good the pot is and how much he does with this cue ball as to whether he'll have a half decent shot in a 6. And that will do it. As long as he's not hampered by the 7, which he is, he's right down over it. And he needs to watch the tip of that cue on that cue ball, because it's got a wider miscue threshold, the house cue. And suddenly it's 2 racks on the board for Zangetsu. Another result through. Simanx has gone through against Jover, and another one through. And Chimpy has raced through against Ice Age. Well, that's about as most powerful a break as you can get with a house cue, and he's got a ball. And he's got a shot. He can roll the one up the table and just follow it up a little bit and be able to cut that 2 in the top rail. Yeah, that's you know, I told you early on there, Zangetsu doesn't realise he's got the 6 ball. He had no clue he had a 6 ball money ball, because that was why he missed the 6 ball in that early rack. He was looking at the 7 ball when he was playing the 6, thinking he had to get on the 7, and that's him just finding out 2/3 of the way through the match that he's got the 6 ball. He's just realised that now that Larry's told him. And well, if he can hold this cue ball, he's got to thin cut this back into the side. He's taking his eye off it, but he'll settle for that outcome though. And this is fairly tight, and so Larry's trying to make the angle, but he needed to jack up more than that. And Zangetsu now has a great chance, again with ball in hand, but must get this angle on this 5 ball to get back up the table. Now, does he realise he's got ball in hand? Well, this is where you've got to pay attention to the HUD. Well, he does realise. And it could be 5-4 in a minute here, if he can get his act together. It's not difficult. Again, I think he's left himself fairly straight. He's got a little bit of an angle. That's enough to work with. But he's got to hit this firm to get back over the right side here where we are. He needs to get it here. Well, he's going the short side. And that'll do. That will do. Now, these aren't difficult for people that play 9 ball week in, week out. Yeah. He sent it to the rail. And he definitely is struggling to find lines on this table. Now, that was not a difficult 6 ball. And, well, Larry would want to play that again, because that was awful. He should never be anywhere near that top rail with this cue ball. And Larry's got out of jail this time, because I had pretty much given that rack to Zangetsu. And he's had his chances, and he's got another really tough cut in the 7. And of course now he must run the remaining balls to win the rack. And MC Clarkey has taken out Bedhead, 7 racks to 3. Once again, Larry's been left awkward here. He'll go for this, but he's got to get the pace in it for the cut, and he might end up straight. Is he going to keep going? Well, he's got a shot, but this is one rack that's got away from Zangetsu, because he's definitely not familiar with 9 ball enough. I mean, his rating shows he's played it, but it's definitely not his game. And that won't go in. And once again, Zangetsu is getting these opportunities. And Larry was 5-1 up, remember. And now we are back to 5-4. So he's got a ball. He's no shot now. I presume he knows he can play a push out. You might not even know that. In fact, I think he might be able to see enough of this 2 ball to cut it. No, he is pushing. Now let's see if he can play a half decent push shot. Or push out, I should say. Well, I don't like coming down the bottom of the table here, because he's going to be in trouble. In fact, Larry's going to cut that. That was not well thought out. Or is he going to cut it? Is he going to go for the back? No, it is. It's too narrow for a cut. Well, again, Larry's struggling. I think Larry's got the problem quite a few players have got with playing all this black ball, that he's coming back to 9 ball and he's trying to find his way again. He's made a bucket load of errors here. And Zangetsu's getting loads of opportunities to make the use of this handicap, and that's not going to get to the pocket, is it? Oh, just in dead weight. Yeah, he's really trying to find lines here, and it's definitely catching him out. Well, Larry didn't. He didn't. I don't think he meant to hit the 6, but he'll settle for that. He can cut it in. He'll not settle for that though. I mean, this will cut in, but I mean, the other thing is he's going to be in the 8 ball unless he scratches. But it's not where he wanted to play it from. So Larry is going to escape. In fact, this might end up being the last of the first round matches. VP Monster's just gone through as well against Travelling TT by 7 racks to 4. So Larry 1 away. And the 8 ball has got kicked in, and he's got a shot in the 1. Excuse me, good line to hold for the 2 ball as well. Well, I'd normally say Larry should be out here. He's going to just nudge into one of these 2 balls here to hold for this 3 down the rail. And, well, he probably didn't like the idea of that 5 ball coming almost in front of the 4, because that's now made this awkward. He's not got an awful lot of pocket to go for, but will pot though. And he's got it clean. And now he needs the angle, whatever it might be, on this 6 ball to be able to either come straight back for the 7. How straight is this? He might choose to just not do an awful lot with this. He's trying to go over the other side. And he's got a decent line there. So now, does he want to put top left on it? Well, he's putting a bit of left on it, so he's coming down this left-hand side here as we look. So he's going to the rail and coming this way. And he's going to scratch again. Well, Larry's done it again, and Zangetsu lives again. That's the only thing that can ever go wrong there, is when you're deciding to come down the left side and you put that inside English on it, you're always going to push it over that direction. And that's twice tonight that's happened from Larry. And Zangetsu's been given lifelines all over the place here. He's back to within 1. And cue ball. And he's decided to scratch on the break. And Larry's, although he's got ball in hand, he's got the immediate problem of the 2 ball because it's locked up. And it's going to be very difficult to get to the 2 ball with any sort of shot here. He said, I look at the... Well, I think that's the best idea. Just pot the 1 and come through for the 2-4 combo. That's pretty much dead set. There's no problem with that. So he doesn't have to try and break anything out. He just has to get down there. And again, Larry's taking his eyes straight off the ball, worried about getting to the 2 and the 4, and he's forgot about the 1. And Larry's got out of jail this time because he's now hooked Sangetsu. Well, I think Larry would like to start this match again, and by then he might have woken up. Well, that's done Larry a favour, because Sangetsu's safety once again it's not good, because he should never have been sending that 1 towards the 2 and 4. He's just solved Larry's major problem, and well, Larry is not 100% certain to get the job done here, and once again he's left himself in no man's land with a very thin cut or the bank. It looks, well, I'm not convinced that's going to cut. He's got to bank it into the corner. No, he's gone for the cut. What do I know? And he's nudged the 5 in. And he's got a cut in the 4. And he's got a nice kiss in the 6. And he can just stun this in and a little draw. And leave the angle in the 7 to cut it in. Well, I think he's going to go straight, but that shouldn't be a problem because it's just a little roll through for a roll into the side pocket on the right side. And the 9 ball sitting there waiting. So Larry is going to get through. But, well, this could have went either way. So this match has taken 40 minutes and it didn't go all the way, but Larry's through by 7 racks to 5, and I think he's going to play MC Clarkey next. Let's have a look. Let's get this done. Yeah, MC Clarkey's waiting on round 2 and Larry's going to be playing him. Meanwhile, we'll jump into Spectre Dawn and Mr. Fox, and Mr. Fox at the table, leading by 6 racks to 5. Well, has this gone far enough? Yeah, it's thin. And he should be able to drag the pace off this and just hold for a decent line in the 8. And this match is over. So Spectre Dawn's going to have to do it the hard way this week. He's heading over to that 1 loss side to join Zangetsu and the others. So Mr. Fox wins by 7 racks to 5. And all of the first round matches are complete except the John Boo Chase One Around match. John Boo 6 racks to 4 up. We've got VP Monster playing Tommy in round 2. Let's jump into that one. If we can get in the room, that is. And Tommy's already 2-0 up. The Monster at the table. Where's this cue ball going? All the way. And it never fails. I've just joined the room and I've jinxed him. I'll get the blame for that. Well, Tommy's left that way short. That's way into bedhead territory for this cut in the 6 ball. Well, he went for the bank. No, I'm not using anything full metal jacket. I'm not doing anything with XSplit broadcast at the moment because it needs me to spend an afternoon getting it all fixed again. It's not in a condition where I can have a decent stream from it at the moment. That's why I'm back to Gamecaster. So Monster gets off the mark. Tommy getting himself really awkward in the 6 ball. Tried to bank. Didn't work. And that was after Monster scratching in the side. And that match with John Boo and Chase 1 Arounds finally finished. John Boo wins by 7 racks to 4. And Monster now has a good chance to square this match if he doesn't hook himself behind the 6. Oh, is it? Yeah, can he get to it? I don't think he can. He's going to have to jump. And the problem with this is that he's heading away from the 4 ball. Well, he'll be happy with the result though. 3 balls gone pretty safe on that side rail. And that's a good response. An easy escape though for Monster. But he hasn't got lucky with the outcome. Well, Tommy is going to have to deep draw this to get back up for that 4. He's again been left barely straight. Now he's got a good angle. He can go right down to the bottom of the table here if he needs to. And that's not a bad angle either. He's inside the line of the 5 ball, so the cue ball is naturally going out into the table. He just needs to make sure it goes out far enough. And he might have overcooked that slightly. He's overcooked it. So it's a little cut back into the side, guaranteed a shot in the 7. And this needs a fun little stunt, just to dink it out to the left. So Tommy stretches his lead to 2 again. I didn't hear anything go that time. Yep, it's dry. And does that 1 ball pass the 3? Well, let's just say yes it does. But it's pretty tight. Yep, as I am every year, Mark. I've always got the first week of the World Championships off. So it starts on Saturday morning, and I've got a short shift tomorrow. And as soon as I get home, I'll be stripped naked and in front of the telly to see the end of the morning session. And of course it'll be the Selby match that's on, because he's the defending champion and he'll be first. He'll be on one of the tables. What does that mean? Too much info. Got it now. I worked it out. See, I worked it out. And then I've got a short shift on Sunday morning, and then that's me for the full week. And of course that's handy as well, because we're going to have some big matches during the week, and I'll be there. I don't care what time they're setting for, I'll be there. As long as I know they're on, I will be there for them. And then when I'm off, I'll then get XSplit Broadcaster set back up again. It just takes a bit of time and patience to get it set. You know, it's not like Gamecaster, you know, you just fire it up and away you go. Because this is just a simplified piece of software for streaming, and it's got the little doodle thing that I like. But it doesn't have all the different scenes in them. You know, you've got no... I mean, you can still put shortcut buttons in this software, but they're not for the same thing. You know, they're just shortcut buttons for mute and that sort of thing, but the other one's got loads of options for shortcuts for the little scenes and the little fail thing and everything that I put in. That all needs to be redone because it all got lost. Although I should have all the files, I should have all the music. Excuse me, I've got the hiccups. They just need to be applied again into XSplit Broadcaster, because it's an app and it gets deleted when you reinstall Windows, so I had to download it again. I still had my presentation save that saved all the settings, but it doesn't save all the files because you've lost the software, so you have to just put them back where they were. It's just a bit of a drag. It's a bit of an annoyance that you have to do it, but it just has to be done. But I just have to get the notion to do it and set myself down and do it. And I'll be honest with you, when I've got home from work, I can't be arsed. It's a lot easier last night was a lot easier setting up for the stream that I did last night, rather than sitting for like 2 hours in the afternoon setting up Broadcaster. I just didn't have the notion to do it. So, Tommy with a healthy lead, 4 racks to 1. And Monster's going to have to dig deep to try and get himself back into this one. Of course, it's a scratch match, no handicap. He's got a nice little angle in this 6 ball. I think it's good enough that he can hold it for the 7. Just a little sort of stunny draw across to the right. Now, I think he's okay. I don't think he's not hampered. Well, again, it all looks easy, this 9 ball. I came on the other day and there was nobody on in the morning for a game of Cowboy, and I played Jim, Casino Jim, and I get pumped twice in a row. He played well, so he did, and I get gubbed. Never got a game of doubles though. There was nobody else on. There was only the 2 of us on at that time in the morning. I don't know where everybody went. Well, the results are flying in from the one-loss side as well. Can't see the top one because I've got my little display thing in on top of the chat that tells me how my FPS is, and that's going along at 60. But I can see that Jover beat Chase One around 4-0. Now, how come those two? What's going on here? How come those two results have got the same player in them so quickly? Somebody explain that to me. What the hell happened here? Hang on a minute. No, I can't move that. I'd need to tab out to do it. Good evening to Cobra. Somebody check that. In fact, can I do it? Let's have a look. No, I can't because I won't. Well, let me see if I can. How come those two results came through? You see that in the chat in the lobby? But look in the lobby chat. I'm on the lobby chat, and there's the results that are there. You've got the Jover one with Chase One around 4-0, and then you get Travelling TT, and then if I tab it, I don't see the other result. That's what I'm talking about. If we come back in here, we've got John Boo beating Chase One around 7-4, and then we've got the next match straight away after that. That is weird. There's some sort of lag in the system for that to happen, because there's no way that the racks go that quick to have the same player in two matches. It's still quick though, isn't it? Anyway. It's now 6-1. What the hell's happened here? That's better. It's now 6-1 to Tommy. Well, that must be the fast one-loss side match ever in VP4. That must be a record. And there must have been a stack of money balls in that game one way or another, or something weird happened. But for 4 racks of 9 ball to be done in 6-7 minutes. Well, VP Monster at the point of no return. Can't miss, can't make mistakes. Or he's dead and gone in the winner's side. And it's a long way back now. He's got to hit this a fair bit. Now, what ball's that? I thought that was a 4 ball up the table. It's the 8 ball that's up the table. It looks like the 4 ball against that blue cloth. Oh, that's careless. And it's sayonara to VP Monster. So a comfortable win for Tommy by 7 racks to 1. So loads of results have flown in. And we'll have a look and see where we stand. We've got MC Clarkey is 3 racks to 1 down against Larry. We've got Mr. Fox 2 racks to 1 up against Chimpy. Simanx 3-2 up against John Boo. And the winner of that match is going to be playing Tommy On the one loss side, Spectre Dawn is 3-1 up against Ice Age, and Bedhead 3-0 up against Zangetsu. So Zangetsu is getting 6 and out in that match against Bedhead, and he's definitely struggling in the 9-ball game. Bedhead's looking favourite to go through, but like I say, with that handicap, that match could turn on its head. So I think we'll go in and we'll have a look at the Mr. Fox Chimpy match. 3 racks to 1. Again, another scratch match. And a 1-9 combo possibility here for Chimpy to get a quick rack. And it's not set in stone, this one. If he hits the 9-2, well, he's played it perfect. If he'd hit it too thick, that 9-ball would have just went around the angles and come out. So that's a bonus there for Chimpy. And Spectre Dawn, as expected, has gone through. And Bedhead has gone through as well. And Zangetsu finding it tough coming to the 9-ball table. Meanwhile, Chimpy's broke off. The 1-ball's gone in. He's lying nice on the 2. And he just needs to come down below this middle pocket for the 3 into the side. He needs to come back far enough to make sure he can see it. Well, anything but straight again. And that is 2 straight. Now, if he can control the draw, this needs one of these stun draws. You see, he's digging deep rather than playing the stun draw, but he's managed to control it though. Took the pace off it, and that's probably about as good as he could expect. It would have been better if he'd just gone maybe level with the side pocket, but he's got a nice angle on the 5, but once again he's struggling to pick the line as well. Needs to remap his replay button. So just a straight draw off this 7, unless he wants to just roll behind it on the left side. And you see that's just a dead weight drop in just to stop the cue ball running away. So it's going to be 4-2. And Chimpy again needs an immediate response, but of course he doesn't have the break. It's winner breaks this tournament. Well, the cue ball looked in the side pocket, decided to stay up. The break's dry. And, well, there is a half decent bank on here for Chimpy. Maybe unlucky not to be able to see the 2 from this. And these balls are sitting perfect. Well, that's not anywhere near the line at all. And what's more, the 1 ball has come up far enough to be cutting aside. Well, don't hook yourself behind the 5. That's the rule of play here. You avoided that. Same rule again, don't get yourself straight in the 5 stuck in the rail. And well, that's about as straight as you can get it. Managed to just squeeze a bit out of it. Now, provided he can avoid the 9, and he can stun it to avoid the 9, well, he's used the 9. Well, this is really probably the only shot that can go wrong, and that's why it's went wrong. He's gone forward with maybe a little bit of spin to bring the cue ball into play and missed the 7 because of it. And fortunate that he hasn't left an easy shot for Chimpy. But he's going to have a dig. Try and rescue this rack. Yeah, it wasn't easy. And that will be his chance come and gone. Welcome to Semi-Pro. Favourite for the Black Ball World Championships. So it's Mr. Fox that stretches the lead. Well, I'm just taking odds not on who's going to win the tournament. I'm taking odds on who's the next one to quit. Between Larry, Cobra and Semi-Pro. Who's going to be the first to cry like a baby and run? Where's that cue ball going? Well, it's hit the 9 a wee bit thicker, but any more pace than that and it was going in. Well, you know, I mean, I've always given my opinion. I mean, you look at that tournament, there's guys in the tournament who, let's face it, had little or no chance of winning it. You go and look at the bracket and look at the matches, there's guys get gubbed 13-3, 13-1, or, you know, whatever. I didn't see any of them running. I've got more respect for those players than I'll ever have for Mal. I'll tell you that now. Much more respect for them. Because, you know, although their chances of doing anything in the tournament were fairly slim, they saw it through. I mean, just because... it's the one thing that never even crosses my mind. It never did when I was playing more regularly. No way on earth. I get gubbed 10-1 by Matt in the virtual Pool 3 World Snooker Championships. I get gubbed in that. Did I run and quit? Did I hell? I mean, look at you ask Albinario, ask Stubb. Albinario took the biggest beating in VP3 ever. When I think that was when Stubb won the virtual 9-ball World Championships. I think he beat Albinario 41-16 or something like that. Albinario will probably remember, Stubb will remember, and Albinario wasn't getting a sniff in that match. That was a real pounding he got. An absolute beating, and Albinario stayed to the death. You know, that's the one thing you don't do. I mean, at 4-1 down, and that's what I was saying about the match with Cobra and Tommy. You know, 4-1 down, anything can happen. You know, Okay, Albinario had a little bit of luck when he played the kick shots and they both went in, right? But that's early on in the match. The match is not even halfway through. And, you've got to stay positive and believe that things can happen for the good. But you can certainly help yourself in the process. But just to sort of say, right, this isn't fair, in his head I'm talking about, and decide he wants to take the quitter's way out. Well, I think Albinario lined him up well. The bonus was that they went in. I mean, I think, let's be honest, he lined them up well to make sure he was going to hit them. The bonus was they went in. Let's settle for that. The bonus was that the two of them went in, and Mal just felt he was half done by, and as Steve said in the stream, Mal should have learnt from his first one when he wasn't leaving it an awkward kick. You've got to leave awkward kicks rather than just one rail kick shots. Because Albinario plays three cushion very well as well, and Albinario is good at picking lines. So you don't want to just leave him an easy kick shot, because that can happen. What happened last night, and if you feel you've been hard done by that happening, then it's a very shallow way of thinking. Very shallow. And even I think, was it the second kick shot? And I'm saying in the commentary that he wanted to get that cue ball nailed onto the ball, and he never. Which again gives Albinario more room to manoeuvre. Oh well, I've said in the chat earlier on this afternoon when I came in semi-pro, I wonder if Mal's worked out some sort of excuse or some sort of reason. But I'm still sticking to the same fact. It just happens. It's so much a coincidence. It all came about when he went 4-1 down. Was it one of the ones I ran? Because if it was never a race to 30. It would have been 31-1. First round were always a race to 21. And then all the other rounds up to the final were a race to 31. Well, Chimpy can survive another rack at least here. Simanx survives on the winner's side. He's beaten John Boo 7 racks to 4. So into rack number 10. The 2 ball and the 4 ball's gone. Perfect in the 1 ball. And he should be out to get another one back. Well, MC Clark is taking Larry out 7 racks to 3 because I can't see the score. Well, all we can do is put it down as an extreme coincidence that he decided that he'd had enough at that point in the match. Yeah. I mean, he said virtually 24 hours to come up with an excuse. That's all I'm saying. I said that earlier this afternoon. You know, it just was so much of a coincidence that I don't believe it. Whatever it is. Right, well, why does he not say, look, something's cropped up, an emergency or whatever, I've got to go? Because then folk like me start interpreting it in the wrong way and everybody else interprets it the wrong way. Do you see what I mean? This is, obviously he might say, oh, this is personal and whatever. You say, this has happened, that's happened, good game, see you later. But everybody's all going to just assume the one thing. This is how press stories get out of context. But I have to say, going by what I said earlier this afternoon, the scenario's actually happened. I said this afternoon, I wonder what reason Mal's going to come up with as to why he had to quit the game. No, the match, the one lost side match wasn't touched. He hadn't forfeited it unless he had forfeited it last night. But anyway, this match is over. Mr. Fox banks the 9 for a 7-3 win. And, well, we're moving along rapidly. That's an hour and, 15 minutes or thereabouts. Now it's MC Clarkey against Mr. Fox. And Matt is getting the 8 ball, which again is good. Simanx is now playing Tommy. Simanx getting, the 6 ball. And over on the one loss side, what the hell's that there? All right, it is. It's just updated. We've got Bedhead 3-1 up against VP Monster. Larry's 1-0 up against Mimic. Chimpy's just about to start playing Jover. And Spectraton's 1-0 up against John Boo. No, I looked at it earlier on today and it was, it's still in the bracket, but I thought, if that's him quit the game last night, then he won't be back for the rest of the tournament. Right, so we're going to go in and watch this match. Mr. Fox again against Matt. So player 1, MC Clarkey's getting the 8 ball, which is still more than generous. This might be too strong, is it? No, I think he's okay. Anyway, so we're never gonna find out why he quit last night, and we're all gonna look bad boys because we thought he just bottled it. That's the way it's panning out, and that's what I predicted earlier on. That's exactly what I said. He's had 24 hours to come up with a good idea, whether it be genuine or not, but it leaves us speculating all sorts of things. The way it was on the scoreboard, the way things happened, good game, good match, see you later. It just looks like a bailout, doesn't it? Well, let's just say, I mean, he's obviously. I think I'm not sure whether he get voted in his local council, but I wouldn't vote for him. As Billy Connolly says, you know, don't trust politicians, don't encourage them by voting for them. Well, you tried a little clever billiard there. It didn't come off. So Matt has his opportunity to square this match immediately. And that's a political statement there by semi-pro. I'm not going to defend. That's a bit like that's a Boris Johnson statement there, Semi. That's exactly. That's a bit like Boris Johnson trying to defend Sunak for trying to hide their money. I'm not going to defend him for what he did, but it's not my position to say. That's political language. That's sitting in the fence. That's being vague. That you'd make a good politician. Yeah, we'll carry on assuming he quit. That's exactly what I'm saying, Cobra. 24 hours is a long time in VP4. A week is a long time in politics. Well, 24 hours is a long time in VP4. It's time enough for you to work out a good excuse for why you quit a match and ran. And I'll stick to that. Well, gets the jump. He's going to have to get it again. Well, yeah, I think you can only come to one conclusion having sat and watched the match for what it was. That's the only conclusion you can come by. You know, Albinario got a wee bit rub of the green there, getting the two kick shots, the two balls going in. Suddenly he's 4-1 down. Having started off well, Albinario wins the lag, breaks off, comes up dry. Mal runs the table and he's 1-0 up. Now, I don't know whether he's got enough. There he's done it again. Remap the keyboard. Remap it to backspace. It's the biggest failing everybody does in VP4. Get your replay buttons remapped to backspace and you won't have a problem. Now, I'm assuming he can just see enough. No, he couldn't see enough, but once again, a little bit, a good run in there, 7 ball going pretty safe. I mean, this is a perfect cut down the rail required. And the EP Monsters made the mistake of leaving the bank on. Alt plus R. Oh no, I don't use a combination of buttons. No, that's too much to remember. Now, let's have a look at this. This will go, but it's a cigarette paper, thin touch. It needs very thin, and the cue ball should be finishing down here somewhere. 1, 2, 3, 4 rails probably. 1, 2, 3, and he's going to go below it. 4. Well, he maybe have to just dig into this slightly because he doesn't want to risk the scratch here. He's fine. So odds on, Oh, well, mind you, I forgot with the handicap, he's getting the 8 ball, wasn't he? So, 3-0. I think he's dead straight in the 4 as well. He's pinching a wee bit of angle. Once again, just a bit too much juice, so... Well, he's got to stun this to the short rail, I think, rather than going 2 rails, because he could run into the 9. Yep, that's the right shot. That was well done, because he had to avoid going around the rails, because the path was going to go very close to the 9 ball, and he would have no shot in the 7. Well, the good thing about playing it next weekend, that both of you have got a week. You've got between now and next Saturday, say for example, to come up with a good excuse for having to bail out during the match. So you could write down 1 or 2 good excuses. Well, Matt's overcut the 1, but I think he's got lucky. Don't forget, you can get really tactical. You can get really tactical in this black ball now, Cobra, and play down and dirty, getting the use of this re-rack. So if you end up in the shit, you just lock the 2 balls over the corner pocket. Semi puts you in a snooker and you've got no shot. So it's just a re-rack and you get out of jail. Use the failure in the game to your advantage. Well, Mr. Fox, desperate to get this rack on the board. Well, again, he just wants to stun this in to go down. I don't think he wants to be running. He just wants to make sure he's stunning a line down, but not directly into the 7. Because that can happen. That's the worst place you can end up. Hit it directly towards the 7, didn't get a lucky kiss, and ended up with virtually no shot. And that is really difficult to read. Well, this is a nice little cut. Cue ball going back across the 2 rails for sight of this 8 ball. And that's decent enough pace, loads of room. 2 rails back across for the 9 by the look of it. He doesn't want to start putting unnecessary English on this, just stun it in and use the angle that he has. So, It's a long haul back for Mr. Fox. I told you that 8 ball's very generous for Matt. Extremely generous. Just remember, guys, if you've got PayPal and you want to make it interesting, I can go the banker. I'm more than willing to go the banker, and I'll pay out the funds into your PayPal account as long as you deposit your bet money with me. I'm more than happy to do that, and you know you can trust me. Well, Jover has taken Chimpy down with probably a hefty enough handicap. He's beaten him by 4 racks to 1. Let's have a quick look and see what that was. What was Jover getting? I cannot read that. He was getting the 8 ball. I mean, that's not bad. Well, Mr. Fox is going to have to leave the combo. I don't think there's any other option. So just drop the 5 ball in and try and get as decent enough line as he can to be able to cut that 6. In fact, that line that he's got is pretty good because it allows you to aim just across the line. Well, he's not interested. He's looking for a better opportunity. And let's see whether he's got that tight enough. Where the hell is it? And that's not really tight enough. He should have been, if he was nailed to it, it had to be 2 rails. At least. And a double kiss will do the trick. And you see, I'm surprised that Mr. Fox didn't play that combo there because he might regret it. And Spectre Dawn survives against John Boot. That combo was not difficult to play, and Mr. Fox retreated into his shell there, and he's hoping for a better opportunity. And like I say, sometimes the opportunity doesn't come. Well, it might have come now. That double kiss there pushes the cue ball into the pocket, and Mr. Fox gets his reward in a roundabout way. And this will just go forward to the middle of the table. And so, barring an accident here, he should be off the mark. Now, this is dangerous because he might be trying to just catch that 5 and 7, and it's worked out well. He's got them full in the face just to hold that shot for the 2 ball. Well, now he's got a combo here that's no more difficult than the one that he refused in the last rack. Well, it's a big middle pocket, with the 8 ball there. Oh, it's caught the knuckle and went straight across into the opposite one. Not often you're going to see that with the way these physics are now. Well, it looks as if it's going to be 2 in a row. Yeah, the people that are all getting deported to Rwanda are all refugees from bloody Ukraine, aren't they? Although why the hell they came up with this idea of sending them to Rwanda is beyond me. I can't work that out. All I can say is that the British government must be paying them a sack load of money to do that. I mean, is it cheaper for them to do that than it is to have them in here and pay them benefits? It must be. Where's the cue ball? Well, there it is, in the hole again. So, Matt with ball in hand, 5-2 up, and the table again wide open. And it looks an easy enough out, although he's got himself close to the rail, but I presume that's the 8 ball that's up there, is it? No, it's the 4 ball. Yeah. I mean, the idea that this conflict would lead to some sort of nuclear war is ridiculous. There's people not thinking logically here. It's not only so much scaremongering, but the idea of that happening is just totally unplausible, if that's a word. It's just a no-go area, which to be honest is another reason for not having them at all. Yeah, but she'll want all the immigrants out of there as well. She's that right wing Nazi type person, is she not? Well, Finland's right on the Russian border, isn't it? But no, this don't ever be panicking into thinking that there's going to be a nuclear war. God, there was even more panic back in the 70s. Folk buying, people selling air raid shelters and all that crap. And it was even worse in the 60s with the Cuban Missile Crisis. So Mr. Fox trailing by 6 racks to 2, and with it all to do. Yeah, but they'll retaliate in their own way if they do. I mean, the thing is, you've got to take news stories with a pinch of salt, right? You've got the Russians. This is what happens during wars. There's some of you not old enough to see what actually goes on during wars. The fact is that we're in 2022. Back in 1982, all you had was some government minister coming on and making statements on behalf of the government, which during the fact that we were at war with Argentina over the Falklands, you're only told what you need to know, and British reporters were only telling you what the government said you needed to know. So this incident with this warship in the Black Sea, well, there's a big blunder there by Mr. Fox. Has he escaped again? Yes, he has. This incident in the Black Sea, you've got the Russians saying that something exploded on the ship and the ship sank as a result of it. You've got the Ukrainians saying we bombed it with a cruise missile. So who do you believe? It could have been the American Special Forces that did it, for all you know. And you're never going to know that until years to come. You're going to get told propaganda from one side and from the other, and whatever you hear on the media, you must not take it set in stone. There's certain things. I mean, all this idea as well that the British reporters and the international reporters have gone into these villages and towns where the Russians have been, and they filmed footage of all these dead bodies lying in the street. There's photographs of mass graves, and the Russians are saying it's the Ukrainians that have done it. So, I mean, you got all sorts of misleading stuff coming from both sides. So I don't trust the Russians any more than I trust the Ukrainians for what you're getting told. And don't forget as well, the Russian people are only getting told what they need to know, which is an entirely different story from what we're getting told. This is a military exercise that the Russians are doing to reclaim land that they think is still theirs. And, all the Russians, unless they're get access to good social media, which they don't in general, and it might well have been shut down over this period of time, they're only getting told what they need to know and what the Russian and what Putin thinks they need to know. So they have to sell it to the Russian people, and there's loads of them backing him. It's all propaganda. Where's this cue ball going? Well, Mr. Fox is doing his best to get this match over with, but he's going about it the right way. He's scratching every second shot. Well, there's always somebody going to make money in this, and none of it's coming our direction, I can assure you. It's all coming out of our pocket. It's all going in the taxes. It's all going in national insurance. And this COVID's been the best thing for businesses, for many of them. As much as many businesses have went out of business, there's loads of businesses that have profited. Supermarkets is one of them. Profits have went over the moon since all of that started. And now you've got various countries bargaining for oil deals. Now that the Russian oil has been ostracised, so there's a buck to be made out of it. Well, that's the kind of shot that Mal would have bailed out on last night. And Mr. Fox, I think, has played his last shot this time. Ball in hand. Although I don't know whether Matt's aware of that. And clearly he isn't, because he's now hooked himself in the 6, so Matt's not paying attention. That was a bit of a numpty shot. Yeah, well, mine is due to land in the whole carpet any time now. And that's, well, I'll put it this way, my gas bill's going to be high enough as it is, because I would be heating on pretty much every day. And I had it on tonight as well. Because I'm the firm believer of I'm not going to sit here wrapped up like a bloody mummy just to save a few quid. I'd much rather be warm and comfortable and worry about the bills when they come in. Well, this is it for Mr. Fox. Or, well, it is because you only need the 8 ball again. I've forgotten again. Right, so the tournament's now, what, an hour and 3/4 old, and we're rapidly moving through. If we can get the buttons to work here. So we've got Bedhead now playing Spectre Dawn, and it's 2 racks all. Let's get into that in the one loss side. And Spectre Dawn is about to get to the hill. Nine balls going to go in. It's going to get re-racked. 7 balls falling virtually on the point of that middle pocket. And that's extremely awkward. Well, I think if you can just get it past that, you'll get it to drop in. Now the thing is that Spectre Dawn is getting the 7 ball as his extra money ball. Now he could actually draw off this 3 and draw into the 7 if he was mad enough. Oh, aye, it does go, but you've got to get good on it for it to go. You know, if you're sitting here trying to cut that in, it's not easy, but if you're sitting here, it's a lot easier. Yeah, I mean, it does go, it's just got to be dropped in sort of dead weight. And Spectre Dawn looks as if it's going to be him that's going through. And that's about as good a position as you'd want to be. There's the shot, right exactly where I said. Just to get it over that rim to drop in. Now, see that shot there? That would never have been in the black ball table. That's all I'm saying. Right, so we caught the end of that match. Now, where have we got to? Well, we know that Spectre Dawn's now going to be playing Mr. Fox. Jover is playing Simanx, and it's 2-1 to Simanx at the moment. Now, over on this side, we have... Where the hell's Larry? What happened to Larry? I missed the result. Oh, Larry got beaten a final rack decider. I missed that result coming through. Mimic was getting... What was Mimic getting? 5 and out. He was getting like 5 and out, and he's beaten Larry 4-3. I never even saw the result coming up in the chat. I must have missed it. Well, I did miss it because I never saw it. Right, so Larry's gone home, and that leaves MC Clarkey and Tommy to play the hot seat match. So we're going to get in for that. And they're actually just finishing the first rack. Or trying to. Well, this is an easy enough kick. Just dead weight it in and hold it. As long as you don't drop in behind the knuckle with the cue ball here. That looks perfect. And then again, maybe not. The only thing that was wrong with that was just the weight. So, a bonus there for Tommy. And this is again a scratch match. Tommy from Germany. And MC Clarkey from England. There's a couple of good matches to look forward to in the first round of the World Championship, so there is. I think you've got, what's his name, Stephen Maguire against, what do you call him, Sean Murphy, I think it is. And who is it that plays that with I? Is it John Higgins or is it Mark Selby? I can't remember, but there's 2 or 3 good matches. Oh, there's, is it not, who plays that Angry Farmer? I was looking at a draw yesterday, now it's all went out of my head. But there'll be some good matches to settle down and watch. Looking forward to it. Should be a good tournament this year. I mean, you've got Neil Robertson playing well. Is he going to sustain his form throughout this championship? Because he's about due another world title. In fact, he's overdue it. He's probably, 2 or 3 championships short. But this is the toughest one to win. Got to stay the pace. It's no use being a sprinter at the World Championships. You've got to stay the distance. And it might, the other way to look at it also from John Higgins' point of view is, he's had a good season, although he'll tell you he probably hasn't. Because he's had all those opportunities in these finals and he's lost most of them. But it might be that his time has come again in the World Championships. But he's got the pedigree to go the distance. And now he's been doing his health and fitness regime. He's slimmed himself down, so he should have the stamina to see him through to the end this time. So I'd put £1 on John Higgins, I'd put £1 on Selby and £1 on Robertson. And then of course you'd put your last £1 on O'Sullivan. I can't remember who it is that's got Tep Chayun Nu. That's a good tie as well. And this is absolutely plumb straight. Well, he's got to get this cue ball to a decent length here so he can make this 9-ball cut fairly straightforward. That's not a decent length. He had to try and work that up the table a bit more. But it's a good distance off the rail, so I'd expect him to chip this in. So we are all square. Wing ball goes in. I think it was. Whatever ball it was. It was, the 7-ball. Shot in the 1. Drop down below the 2. I think if he can miss the 3. Oh, he's ran into the 3. So now it's the lock-up. Nail it to the 9 is the order of the day. Well, that's not nailing it to the 9. Welcome to Potman. This is a hot seat match to see who gets to the final tonight. And that's why you've got to lock these balls up. You can't leave that amount of distance for the jump shot to be played. And likewise for Tommy, he should be doing the same thing. But, you know, that's not a difficult shot to play, but he's got the snooker anyway. And it's a big target to hit, and there's a good line to get to that 3 ball. And if he gets it nice, he could actually even run this down the rail and pot it. But that isn't the line. Well, Jover has gone through in the last rack decider against Simanx. Well, once again, it's a full house, but we're moving along at a decent pace now. We're not even at 9 o'clock, and this is a hot seat match. So I would imagine whoever wins this, yeah, they'll have a little wait because Spectre Dawn and Mr. Fox are underway, and then Jover's to play the winner of that. It might actually not be that long a wait, because this match has only just really started as well. But Tommy is going to go into the lead. Three ball in the side, 1 ball in play, 2 ball in the open. This rack should be over. 4 ball in the right side. So the World Championship starts on Saturday morning at 10 AM. And I'll miss. Well, that's a poor shot. Everything about that was poor. He missed the pot. Cue ball runs into the 5. No shot in the 4. And that's a gaping opportunity there for Tommy to open up the gap. But Matt hasn't been able to pick the bank. Has he got second prize? Yes, he has. So the whole sequence there was not very skillful, let's just say, because that wide open opportunity Tommy had there, I don't know what he was trying to do with the cue ball, but he should never have been anywhere near the 5. Oh, Matt wasn't going for the bank. Well, you had 2 minutes to come up with an excuse there, Matt. This is actually not a bad angle to be playing this at. It could go to rail first and then kick the 2. Well, he's again struggled to find a line. So ball in hand. Now, dare I say it, he should be out here. No, he'll not be back in BP4. That's him gone. But Semi's already spoke to him last night, and I know you weren't here earlier on this afternoon, but I predicted that that Mal has had roughly 24 hours to come up with an excuse as to why he quit last night. And apparently, according to Semi-Pro, he's got some sort of excuse as to why he quit the game last night. We all jumped to the one conclusion, that he bottled out. Me more than anybody, and I think more than me thought the same thing, if they're being honest, because that's how it looked like. He's from the sort of north of England, on the right side of the country, that direction. He's in Geordieland country, round about that area. Popman will have a better idea, because he's from that neck of the woods as well. Yeah, I've been to Durham before. I've been to see the cathedral. I think that's all I saw of Durham, and all I wanted to see. So Tommy eventually is going to get this 2-rack gap. Seven ball goes in, 6 ball goes in, I think. Long shot in the one, or a cut into the side. Now, the cut in the side would be the better idea, because he might be able to chip that edge of the 2 or catch the 4 onto the 8 and open up the 2. I don't believe he can leave the 2 ball sitting there and get anything from it, so he's going to have to get a nudge and get a wee bit of running here, I think, to have a shot. Well, what do I know? Maybe it's a combo, or maybe he's playing the 2-9 into the side. Well, let's have a look. Well, the 2 definitely doesn't go into the side, so he's looking at the 2-9 combo, which doesn't look that difficult. Well, oh, do you know as well, Matt? So it's only the privileged few that get to hear the excuse. That 5 ball still rolling, still spinning. Well, 4-1 to Tommy. I think you'd do better, Matt, if you weren't in the chat. That's my opinion. I think you'd focus more. Well, he's got to play for this gap here. I don't think he wants to go down to the bottom rail. Well, now he's got a nice angle though. Can he get enough of this to spin it and chip the 6? Needs a bit of luck, and he ain't getting it. Well, I would like to think that Steve now knows why Matt quit. Seeing as Steve's the boss of the show. Well, Matt said he's free go here. Nice angle in the 8-ball. Down the right hand side. Don't scratch in the right side pocket. And he should be home and dry in this rack. Don't scratch in the right side pocket. There you go, boys. Don't say I didn't predict it. But that would have been a. The commentator's eye is never wrong. Never doubt my abilities. When have I ever been wrong, Bedhead? Come on, give me the list of when I've been wrong. I mean, who's the one that coined the bedhead cut, and who's the one that's fell foul of the bedhead cut more than anybody else? Bedhead. I tell you, I've got more things wrong in that 8-ball table than I have anywhere else. I know that. I'll hold my hands up to that one because I can't work it out. I can't work out that pub table. I'm looking at the line of shots going and it goes nowhere near where I'm thinking it's going. Well, this might scupper the chances of the comeback where this 5-ball stuck. Oh, he's played it well. It's a good shot. Now just a roll through, but roll through far enough. Don't leave it short and square on this 8-ball. You've got to go through far enough. And he's hung the 7. Last chance saloon now. That's if Matt gets another shot in this match. Because Tommy's on the hill. And Matt has a shot on the one. Richard D is Mooncake. What were you before again? Because I've totally forgotten. I had just managed to remember that was Mooncake. Now I've got to remember that Richard D's Mooncake now. Good evening. Well, that 3-ball tried its best, but it didn't get there. Now, why are you on YouTube? That's what I'm asking. I thought everybody preferred Twitch. Good evening. By the way, once again, anybody that's on Twitch, do me a favour and go and subscribe to me on YouTube if you haven't already done it. Well, I finally, after having that problem with Windows, I finally got Microsoft Flight Simulator installed, and I downloaded the F-16 fighter jet and got it installed today. And I was flying to London from Prestwick, and before I knew it, I was at London after about 15 minutes. I was only going at 600 odd mile or 600 odd what do you call it, knots, because they don't do miles per hour in planes and boats, they do knots. So I was going at a fair lick, and of course by the time I had got there it was late in the afternoon and I had to go and get fed, so I quit it while I was still in mid-air. But see, when I was flying down, there was there must have been about 24 people all around me. Well, you could see all the names in the sky, loads of people flying around England at the time. But the clean install of Windows that I did certainly fixed Microsoft Flight Simulator. Although that wasn't the reason I had to do the clean install of Windows. It was a bloody Windows update that caused it. It's nothing else. Right, anyway, that match is done and dusted. Oh, Matt's got an excuse as well now. Matt's went to the... Matt's bought the new release, the new edition of Mal's excuses for leaving the tournament. Has Twitch been dodgy the last few days or what? Because other people were saying that Twitch was buffering and stuff like that the other night there. That's unusual for that. Strange things are going on. Anyway, see you later, Matt. Right, so Spectre Dawn, and well, let's dive in and try and catch the end of this. It's 3 racks all. This one lost side match. Now we're getting a bit of tip-a-tapping. Well, this is going to go on for 20 minutes unless somebody's brave enough to try and tuck the cue ball away somewhere. I think we come in at the wrong time. Go and watch the match. Go and watch the stream from last night. The first 15-20 minutes is the match with Zangetsu, and then once the Mal Albinario match starts, you can watch it from there. It only lasts about 20 odd minutes. See, the problem here is trying to go to the left and get behind the 6 and the 8 and the 9, because you're going to bring that 3 ball in open play near the side pocket, so they don't want to risk going to the left. But why not bank the 3? Why not? See, there's already a shot I would play there. You cut the 3 that way, send it that way, bring the cue ball down here. You know, if you chip the 3 out to that direction, bring the cue ball here, and down here, you've got a safety and you've got a wee bit of distance. Or even if you chip it and come off the rail and go that way, if you bring the 3 ball far enough out, you'd be unlucky to leave a shot. Yeah, it leads us all to jump to the wrong conclusions, you would say, but we can only jump to one conclusion in the context of the match last night. So you have to give us that benefit of the doubt. And, you know, it just didn't look good for him. Let's just say that. But, you know, I'm going to keep reminding you that earlier this afternoon I said, well, he's had 24 hours to come up with a good excuse. And it's going to come out sooner or later. I'll tell you something sooner or later. If it's Mr. Fox that's playing these miscues, sooner or later he's going to get one wrong, and he's going to give ball in hand away. Now that's better. Found a little gap between the 6, 9 and 8. And now the bank is on as well, I think. Although, yeah, he's managed to hold the line. The only thing I'm having a look at is the 5. The 5 goes as well, so this is the opportunity to at least pot a couple of balls. I don't know about potting the 8, but anyway, if you can get here somewhere in the 8, you may well have a pot. Once you get rid of the 6, of course. Where's the cue ball going? And you've still got to get on the 6. That's no gimme. I think in our defence and my defence and those guys who are in a similar opinion as me, we're doing nothing wrong coming to the conclusion that we did from the context of that match, how the match went, those 2 kick-ins that Albinario did, the fact that Mal was 4-1 down and all of a sudden he says, good game, good match. You know, we can only come to that one conclusion. Well, we know the 8 goes, so that's about as good as you could get on it. And it should just be a roll through for the 9 into the left side pocket. So this to march on in the tournament. Inspector Don goes through by 4 racks to 3. And of course Tommy is now sat there waiting in the final. And we are still a ways away from that, but this is just about to update. Inspector Don's now going to be playing Jover, and I would imagine that Jover's going to be getting a fair wee handicap here. He might be getting 6 and out, something like that, depending on the rating. It probably won't be far off that. Yeah, I don't think any of us should be made to feel bad if there was any sort of circumstance. It's just the way it happened. That's our defence. The way it happened, as I say, the context of the match, we could only come to one conclusion. Right, so the Spectre Dawn Jover match is up. Let's head in there. And Jover's already in. Well, it might not be quite as generous a handicap because he's sitting 2,133. No, as I say, none of us should. We were all sitting watching the match, and we all saw the way it was going at that point. And so we could only jump to the one conclusion. Bear in mind, Ollie typed in the chat. Right, just give us 2 seconds. Right. Hang on a minute. Consecutive racks. But anyway, to cut a long story short, for you guys that don't know, Albinario managed to kick out of both of them, and not only that, caught the ball that he was on. And after the second one, what the hell's that message? Decided it's 4-1, and I've had enough. See you later.
Yeah. Don't want to juice the ball up. You want to take natural pass. And Albin was dominant in that straight pool championship. So you got to figure that this part of the game, he's going to do really well. You know, so far, the only thing we've seen him make mistake on was, you know, has to do with black ball strategy, which he hasn't played a lot. But, you know, I think I said the other day that Mal had an advantage running out, and I think I'm wrong about that. I think maybe even Albin has an advantage the way he learned to play straight pool.
Well, we'll see how he deals with that.
This is tricky.
Right.
So you need to hit this firm enough to get past the yellow. Well, he's just going to roll it. I would have hit that harder and come down the table.
I don't know what he was playing there.
He should have come down and played this red that's along the long rail. I don't know why he hit that so easy.
I think he's trying to use the knuckle, Steve. Hit the second yellow and go in off that yellow. He's looking at it, I think. Yep, he's trying to hit the knuckle and hit the second red, the one behind it. Second red. Second yellow,
he needs to put some speed on this if he's going to do that. That's his only chance. It's got to be hit hard.
No, he's gone the other way.
Down the table.
See, I got that one wrong. I'm not going to hit the rail, is it?
One thought since that ball didn't go was to get on it in the corner it didn't go in and slightly brush the yellow.
Right, this is a snooker coming up.
Maybe it goes in a pocket, but if it doesn't, you know, you hit a speed where it hangs in that pocket, and then you've got.
No, I just want you guys to watch the chat.
An 8 ball in front of a.
Watch the chat after Albinario plays this shot. Mal's got him hooked, and Albie's looking for a line to get to this now. There is a line there, but it's a narrowish window because of those two yellows. If he's going that way, he can't get down the side rail.
No, he's going to have to spin it. I mean, he can get to it, but he's going to have to hit it short of that side pocket and really spin it to open it up. It's a tricky shot, especially jacked up over.
Yeah, this is where he goes two rails.
No,
I
think
he catches
would
it.
Like to hit the right side of this red if he can, because I don't think he'll leave Mal much.
Oh, he's got it direct.
That's 2 in a row.
Right, watch the chat.
Yeah, Mal's going to start shaking his head if he keeps doing that.
Yeah. Well, Albie's certainly done his homework.
Well,
right, so Albinario cuts the red, pots the 8, and then read the chat.
Pretty good shot.
4-1 to Zangetsu.
And I'm expecting Albin to make this ball and get out. I mean, just like that. It was really natural shot.
He's already typing at the moment.
Ball's always going to be in play.
Good match, you win, mate.
That's a good escape for Albinario.
I'm done. Sorry.
Mal's had enough.
And then of course I jumped to the obvious conclusion.
Mal's bottling it. Why is he doing that? Because he said Albinario in two snookers, and Albinario's kicked out. Yeah. Well, okay. I'm not really going to be in agreement with that.
So that's what happened, and we could only jump to that one conclusion. That's it. That's all he said, and then off he went. Anyway, that's done. We're just finishing the first rack here, and Spectre Dawn is 1-0 in front. I think they were. I don't know. I think if I missed it, I was probably too busy gabbing and looking at the layout of the table. I missed that part. I probably need to go and watch the whole of the match again. Well, he was interested right up to the point he played the second snooker pot, man. He lost interest when Albinario kicked around and got that second one in as well, after having got the first one in. And then suddenly that was it. You know, because then he knew Albinario only had to cut the red down the rail and he was 4-1 down. Oh, that was the black ball that was the one I was debating, is that I think that we heard the ball going off the table. Steve thought it might have went through the pocket, because that was an original bug that was in the black ball table at one time, and there still might be a hole in the pockets where the ball can drop through. And that's why I got a bit confused, because it was a re-rack, but the 8 ball had actually gone at the same time. Yeah, I just posted a link so that we could watch the point where he quit, so that we could read his text and what he said, which was 2 lines, and that was it. By the time he'd finished that, he was out the door. I'm just basically defending our conclusion as to what happened and how we jumped to that conclusion, that he just chickened out and bottled it. We could only come to that decision by reading that text. That's not a bad effort. And Joe, what's he getting? He's getting, I mean, that's still a generous handicap. He's getting the 6 ball, albeit he's not getting any use of it in this rack either, because that's gone. But he's getting a 6 ball. Well, we all do, Semi. But the thing is things like that can, if you're stressed out about something, then letting that get to you while you're playing in an online game is a bit over the top, is it not? Is that not why you do this kind of stuff, to get away from those things? I mean, he's not any more stressed than I am. I can assure you that. I mean, if I want to sit here and moan that I could tell you a proper sob story about the worries I've got, but I don't, because I come here to get involved in this, you know. And I mean, it should never be stressful. It's just a bloody game, for goodness sake. You got to get back to reality here. It's the competition. Well, I stopped playing because I simply don't have the time that I would like to put in to play this game. I mean, in years gone by I did, and now I don't. Circumstances have changed, But if you're letting something like that affect you, the fact that you're just playing in an online game, then you've got more serious troubles. So you have. It's a shrink you need to be talking to if you're letting a game get to you. That's not mental health issues. That's another thing completely. Everybody's got various things going on in the back of their mind that they like to keep to themselves. We're all in the, most of us are in the same boat in day-to-day life. I'm worried that I've got enough money to pay my bills for the hours that I work and the hours that are available at my job. I'm worried about that. I know that the gas bill's coming in. I'm worried about that. But I'm here, and when I'm here, I don't give a shit about that. That's what I'm saying. I mean, if I played a game, and I was losing, I'm going, I'm stressed out with this gas bill coming. Nobody wants to hear that. I mean, there's loads of people. I mean, there's people have played this game, right? And some of you might not have been around. There's people that have played this game that have had mental and health issues, and there are people that have played this game that have committed suicide as a result of it. I'm well aware of that, as are other people. There are people that are no longer play this game because they've been affected in such a way in their lives. And there is one person that had other health issues as opposed to so much mental health issues, and they took their own life because of it, who used to be a regular that plays this game. So I mean, I've heard plenty of stories, not just online, so there's loads of people that get problems. Yeah, I got a roasting off banting from him. I got a roasting off him, and I was, and again, he's trying to do the emotional blackmail type thing by trying to make me feel bad, and I think that's even crazier. Well, John was very seriously ill, and that affected his temperament. more than anything else. And when you're online and you don't talk to people, I was talking to them in TeamSpeak quite regularly, and John was really, really suffering, but people only see the chat stuff in the lobby, and they didn't like him for this and all of that stuff. We've all got sympathy for one another when you've got problems like that, but you don't come here to air them. That's what I'm saying. Same as you don't come here you don't come to Virtual Pool 4, and this is my opinion, by the way, this isn't anybody else's. You don't come to Virtual Pool 4 to band on about loving Jesus and all of this stuff, because I'm not interested in it. And you don't come in here to rant in the lobby about politics, because again, I'm not interested in it. You don't want to use this as a platform for preaching crap. And I still, and harsh as it might seem, you don't want to come here and air all your problems. You might do that in private with somebody that you're maybe talking to in Discord. That's fine. But you keep all of that stuff away from here, because this is where you come to get away from it, even if it's an hour or whatever. That's the way I see it. But no, I believe I've got as many stresses in it as anybody else, and that's and yes, a lot of things for people at the moment are bills. That's certainly one of the things, but there are other things. But that's between me and the monitor, nobody else. But as I say, if you don't think you're up to it, then you don't get involved in the tournament. So if you let a little thing like the fact that you're trailing 4-1 affect you in such a way to pull the plug on it, then you shouldn't have been in it in the first place. That's another way of looking at it. Take care of yourself before worrying about a game. Well, of course it can. And many's the time that's happened to me. Yeah, there are people throwing themselves under trains and everything at the moment. You just don't get to hear of it. It's only the local people and neighbours that will hear that. The amount of people that are doing themselves in, they can't face the prospect of the next day because of where are they going to get their money. The government certainly don't give a shit, but again, that's politics. I mean, whenever I come to Virtual Pool 4, it's to get away from all of that stuff. And that's always been the case. Yeah, that probably wouldn't have been the same had you been in Discord at the time. And now the two of you have fallen out of love again. That's the second time you both have fallen out of love. Well, anyway, back to more. Believe it or not, there are more important matters at the moment because we're here to watch a match. We've got Spectre Dawn trying to battle his way through and looking odds-on favourite to do so, provided he can get to the 9. Well, I'll tell you something. I'll make it even worse for you. I'll do it naked and I'll watch it on my second monitor and I'll have the webcam on just for you. Well, he hasn't got himself good in the 9 ball. Yes, I might even knock one out for you on the webcam. How's about that then? Well, there you go. Where's the cue ball going? It might be locked in the knuckle. No, it isn't. And it's not going to be Spectre Dawn's week this week. Unless he can take out the final rack. Because we're going hill. Yeah, there's. I'm going to shout down the webcam. There's one for Jesus. Right, so Jover breaks off. The break is dry, and it's not nice on the one ball. Well, Tommy's falling asleep waiting in the final because we're still deciding who's going to get through to play the semi-final match. Spectre Dawn or Jover are going to be playing MC Clarkey. Tommy's been sitting over there for half an hour at least, and we're going to have to wake him up because it's going to be another 20 odd minutes before the next match is finished. Oh, I loved the thing, and I loved the bit in the stream last night where Steve, me and Steve were talking about. I don't know how it got round to it, but we were talking about our ancestors, and I'm saying, well, Stubb thinks he's Polish. He wants he's got his Polish flag, and I'm saying, well, if that's the case, then I'm Irish because my direct ancestors are Irish from the west coast of Ireland. And Steve said, "Oh, I've got." Steve got round to saying he's got Ukrainian blood in him. I said, "Well, you might." I said, "You're just as much a Rusky as anybody else." And then Stubbs asking if you're related to Steve to scare the shit out of him. And I'm suggesting that Steve adopt Stubb, keep him as a pet out in the backyard. In his own little kennel with a fence round it. Or was it you? I couldn't remember how it started. And I think Steve went off the idea pretty quickly. Stubbs should move in with Steve. Where's this cue ball going here? There we go. And it's a 4-9 combo for the match for Spectre Dawn. Well, he couldn't have laid it on a plate any better. Well, he's looking at running it out. It is a bit dodgy to be risking the combo. He's looking to run it. I think Stubb does need a father figure. Whether he needs a 6'7" father figure, I don't know. I think he needs somebody to discipline him and put him right. I was going to make a funny line and say I think Stubb needs somebody to give him a hand, but he might take that the wrong way. He might take it out of context and be offended. Bearing in mind he's called Stubb and he's only got one hand. That would be a bit of dark humour. But it must be over 20 years that Stubb told me. I said to him, why the hell are you called Stubb? And he told me. He said, I've only got one hand. Well, Spectre Dawn marches on again. Through by the odd rack. And MC Clarkey waiting for the room to go up. The room is up. We'll get ourselves in ready. Yeah, but I come to the one conclusion watching that video clip. Nobody's playing him. He's playing himself. I think he can't get a game in that pool hall. I think nobody likes him. So he comes on to VP4 to have no friends as well. Oh, Spectre Dawn has arrived. I've arrived. Jover's probably going to take care of business somewhere. Yeah, offering him a hand could be taken out of context. Well, it's a little plain words, isn't it? That's the kind of joke that Jimmy Carr would tell. He wouldn't blink an eyelid. He wouldn't bat an eyelid telling it. Oh, aye, that's right. What am I talking about? You're right enough, Cobra. Thanks for telling us. I'm sitting in here waiting. It's going to time out. Right. Yeah, we'll leave the room because that's going to time out. I forgot about that. Matt had to go. Matt, MC Clarkey, he had to leave, so he's gone. Inspector Don will just get advanced through to the final to play Tommy. Now, had there been a TD here, which there isn't, no. Well, Steve's there, but I'm not going to bother him. Well, you're asking for trouble with that statement, Semi-Pro, because I could say, well, I could name you top 10 right now. But I'm not going to make it public. But I'm pretty certain I'd be in there if it was going by votes. Right, so what do we do now for 10 minutes? I think what we'll do is we'll have a look around and see what's going on. What we got going on here? Is that Carlos Lindo get anybody played him yet? No, he hasn't. He's stuck in his room on his own as usual. What's in the match rooms? They're all pretty much locked up. There's Dragon. Has he got somebody to play him? No, he hasn't. He's the usual, sitting there on his own, looking for a game of cowboy. Who's Yasser? I think he's gratis. He's on his own as well. No, he can't be because he's in a 3-cushion billiard room. Let's see who's in these rooms. There's 2 or 3 people all just sitting in rooms on their own. There's one with nobody in it. Somebody's fallen asleep in that room, in Steve's room. There's names there I've never seen before. Tony, you have seen before. Who's Sethus and who's Phantom? Never seen them before. Oh, so we'll get in have a look at this one. Yeah, that's definitely in the top 3. That one, that name. I wouldn't say that Semi-Pro. I think that's. I think you're buttering people up saying that. And everybody knows that I'm a gentle character on Discord. I don't say anything out of turn. Right, let's scare the shit out of these guys now that they're live on stream. well, don't underhit this. You've got to hit the rail and get back up, but don't run into the 9-ball. That's the order of the day here. So you've got to hit it hard enough to come down to the bottom rail so that it goes back up the table, and don't run into the 9. And above all, pot the 6. So I would assume that we'll get a pop-up in the chat at that match. No, it won't, because we're not in a tournament match. I think if you're in a tournament match, then it will come up in the chat that that match has eventually been forfeited. So we'll just keep a look at the what do you call it? Look at the, it's got that funny number after Spectre Dawn's name, but it's still not forfeited yet. Let's adjust that. Yeah, I'm not using my commentator's eye at the moment. I'm just watching what's happening. That's one way to do it. I've sat streaming here with just my pants on, especially during the summer. And it's absolutely boiling. With a fan on as well, trying to keep cool. I'll tell you something, one thing that takes a lot of stress out of your life is having money in the bank to get by. Where's this cue ball going? That takes quite a bit of stress off you in this particular day and age. If you know you've got enough money to get by and survive, then fine. But your stresses and strifes and everything mount up when you're struggling. Well, if you watch that flight sim video I did the other day, you'll see where I live. When I flew to work. What an exciting video that was. I flew and I landed in the car park right in front of the front door of the store. Right, that must be about, I think that's probably timed out for now, so let's head back to the lobby. And it still hasn't timed out. Any minute now. Race to 9, the final, of course. And there might be like Tommy getting the 8-ball or something like that, I would think. I think that might be the handicap. I don't think he'll be getting much more than that. I'd be surprised if he does. It's a long 10 minutes, isn't it? I mean, we were sitting in the room for 3 minutes waiting and the thing started before I got reminded that Matt had to go. Well, you see, the only one good thing about that is, is that everybody had forgotten about that. Now you brought it back up again. You put it into the conversation. You should have kept quiet. Right, anyway, the match is over, and we now have a final. And it is, in fact, that is a good question. What's happened to Shooter Pool Pro? Haven't you seen him? We haven't seen him since the previous World Championships when he was around. He's disappeared. So the room is up. Let's head in. And Tommy's already in. You remember Wolfpack, Cobra, don't you? I'll say that again, from the Ukraine. You remember him? Well, the other day there when I had been talking to semi-pro, we'd been talking about the black ball situation with the black ball rules, and I had the previous night or afternoon I had gone into Shooters Pool in the afternoon, and I was asking in their lobby if anybody played black ball to any great deal, which there wasn't. I had asked them if they knew how to deal with a stalemate, or if the game dealt with a stalemate situation in Shooters Pool Pro, and the short and sweet answer to it is we don't think it does. And Semi-Pro went and tested the stalemate thing, and they're in the same boat as Virtual Pool 4 as far as that goes. So, well, I got it wrong. Tommy's actually getting the 7 ball. So he's getting 7 and out. 7, not 7 and out. That's what I meant to say. He's getting the 7 ball, but he doesn't get 7 and out. Well, that was quick. I blinked an eye there, Inspector Don's up 1-0. Yeah, well, see, there's a perfect example as well. There are people here that might not know Lady Hawk's position, and she's not around an awful lot. And Tattoos, that used to be here a lot, she's not here at all. And both of them, that's what I meant to say. I'll get to that in a minute, Cobra. I had lost track there talking about semi-pro, and then I forgot what I was talking about. Lady Hawk has had health issues. Tattoos has had long-term health issues. And they're not around an awful lot, probably because of that. But the thing about Shooter's Pool is that when I went to do the testing the other night there, or afternoon, whatever it was, that's where he hangs about now. He's never in Virtual Pool 4 unless he's changed his name. But that's where he went. Now, he disappeared out of VP4 when I had a good rant about him getting let back in the tournament. In that World Championship, I had a good rant about that. And that was the one where Larry decided to play him. Right, so 5 balls locked up, 4 balls nailed to the bottom rail, and Tommy's hooked himself. He's going to have a kick at it. Now, he doesn't want to kick this hard like that, because he could have then broke out the 5 and 6 there, so that wasn't well thought out. But where the force finished is not great either, because he's left not a dead set combo. And the only thing that is still vague is what happened to Franco. And apparently only Mr. Fox knows that. And in goes the combo. But Franco had said he had a cough. That's all he said to me. So again, you just have to assume the worst. But there are loads of people that used to play VP3 that have never seen the light of day of VP4. They've all gone elsewhere or they've passed on. So 2-0 to Spectre Dawn, and if Tommy was having a nap waiting in this match starting, then he better wake himself up pretty sharpish before this match runs away from him. Well, we've lost a handful of people. John Slingblade, Senny, the other. What was the name of the other one there? More recently, that played. He played snooker and whatever. What was his name? Oh God, that's so annoying. What was the name of the other fella? That'll bug me the rest of the night now. We had a memorial tournament for him. Who's the South African guy? I didn't know about that one. No, it wasn't Rob. Christ almighty, that is so annoying. What's his name? No, but what was his VP4 name? Jay Schrader, that's one. But there was another one, that was a name I'd totally forgotten about, Larry. Jay Schrader's gone. Senny's gone, but what was the other one? John Slingblade's gone. But there was also the one that it used to be on TeamSpeak. Oh God, there's another one. And then there was another one in TeamSpeak that used to drink as well quite a bit, and he's never been around for a long while either. But who was the other one? Oh dear. Jay Schrader, that's one that I'd totally forgotten about. Well, that polar bear name I've not seen for a while. But that's not the pair. He's from the States. I'm sure he was from the States. He used to play. He used to play a bit of snooker and stuff. He wasn't great at it, but he used to play it. What was his name? Oh God! What the hell was his name? Right, that's it. I've had enough. I'm going to have to tab out for a minute to go to the forum and look at it because it's just annoying me. Hang on. Right, I've got the name. It was Kelp Cod. That's the name, because none of you said his name. Kelp Cod. That's another one who passed away. You remember him, don't you? And I'm sure there's a lot of others who have also gone that we haven't seen, but we've just never got to hear about it. I mean, the only way we'd have known about Senny is the fact that his son came in and mentioned it in the lobby. That's the only way we would have heard about him. We wouldn't have heard any other way. Well, Tommy, got to get motivated here. And I remember as well, was it last year or was it a wee bit longer than that? I went and I was hunting around Oklahoma, searching obituaries and stuff online, looking to see if there was anything for John. What's his name? One of my best friends, Larry. What was his name again? Lucky Charm, because he hasn't been in VP4 for a long, long time. And I was trying to see if anything had happened there, but I never found anything. Yeah, him that's into photography. John, I can't remember his name. Or Lucky Q as he was in VP4. And his dad, who passed away a good while ago. Potog, that's one. That's another one. He was one of the first to go in VP3. Well, let's have a look at this 7. I think it's plenty of room to go past the 9. But, he's going to have to just keep this flush to the rail. If he chips it out slightly, it's going to brush that 9. I got it fine. But it's bad news for Tommy. And good news for me, because if it keeps up like this, at this pace, I'm going to be in bed a lot earlier than I thought. I mean, this tournament has raced through tonight. I mean, that's 3 hours. And we're well into the final. And it's usually 1:45 by the time I get to my bed, so it's flown through. Have we had any gender realignments? No, what about that guy that had the voice changer pretended he was a woman? That's close enough to a gender realignment. Him that was on Discord. I mean, I never was on it, but apparently he was a woman for a short period of time. But that qualifies as a gender realignment. He dropped his voice changer and suddenly he was a man. He did it for 3 years. Yes, he had the voice changer on there, Larry. Aye, Michael, him, yeah, 2001, whatever his name is, yeah, that guy, or that woman, depending how you look at it. Oh well, Tommy's had to go for the big stun to get up for the 9, and that's undone him. And things ain't going Tommy's way, I'm afraid. Well, maybe he's got mental health issues. Maybe he's got multiple personality disorder or whatever you want to call it. So Spectre Dawn, comfortable lead, 6 racks to 1, couple of balls going in the break, shot in the 1, and everything there for the taking. Right, while this is going on at the moment, I want to just tab to the home page for a second. Where the hell are we? That's not it. I still don't understand why sellers are still selling VP3. That's beyond me, that one. Especially where they're not I can't believe that they're not offering a place to play it. You know, you've got, at least it's got better options than what VP4 has. At least it's got, what do you call it? The LAN option with it. Right, well, there's a match tomorrow morning on in the Black Ball losers side at 9 AM with Tam and Ice Age. I'll be at work. And you've got Simax and Brainfell out. And that is at 7 PM on Saturday night. I think I'll watch Ant and Deck while that's on, if they're still on. And then you've got Spud Boy and Dirties. They're at 10 PM. In fact, wait a minute though. Wait a minute. Wrong bloody button. Wrong button. Is the boxing not on Saturday night? Wait, what's his name? Or when is that? Is that not, maybe not Saturday night? Is it not later on in the month? What do you call him? The Gypsy King, what the hell's his name? When is he fighting? There, I've forgotten the name of the boxer as well now. Tyson Fury, that's it. It just came into my head there. When's that fight on? Somebody find out. Well, that's not a good safety because that's going to get jumped every day of the week. Well, I think Tommy has paid the price for sitting around for the best part of an hour because he's gone cold. Stone cold. And who was it that told me? Who was it that I remember me mentioning in the streams? Did they send me a friend request on Facebook or something? And I went to check their profile, and or was it in VP4? And it says I'm 12 years old. And I thought to myself, I'm not having any friends with any little girl that says they're 12 years old. How the hell's that going to look online? So I ditched that straight away. That friend request. That is taking you down a dark alley you don't want to be in. Saturday the 23rd of April, right, well that'll be Sunday, my time, because is it in Las Vegas? So if it's in Las Vegas, it's going to be kicking off at 4 o'clock in the morning, my time. Well, it looks an awful long haul here for Tommy. But he's got a good chance here. I mean, he's absolutely no excuse. What, Wembley Stadium is going to host it? But the one that's coming up with Tyson Fury, I don't even know where the venue's going to be. If it is, it's going to be like 10:30 at night. Once the undercard is finished. Problem with that is I'll be working in the morning, so I won't be able to watch it. Right. Well, that's no good. It's good for me that it's this side of the Atlantic, but I'll probably be working. If I'm not working on the Sunday, I'll be up. I'll get a good stream of it and I'll watch it. I'll set my alarm because I always like to see the big heavyweight bouts. That's the ones I've always enjoyed over the years. I saw the I saw the rope-a-dope with Ali and Foreman, and everybody thought that Ali was going to get done in. Everybody thought he's going to get tagged at some point in that fight. And then he goes like 4, 5, 6 rounds or whatever it was, just taking punches from Foreman, and then he tags him and takes him out. Well, Tommy's managed to rescue one rack, still trailing by 5. But he's still got that 7 ball, which is still handy. It's still a handy money ball to have if he can get there once or twice. So, well, I did absolutely nothing there, and suddenly I just went back to my desktop. I don't know what went on there. All I did was lean back in my chair. Am I playing cowboy? Do you not understand? I'm an hour and a half past my bedtime. I should be long gone. My brain shuts down at 8:30. There is no way I'm doing anything as soon as this is finished. I'll tell you exactly what I'm doing after this is finished. I'm going to the bathroom because my bladder's about to burst, and then I'm heading to bed. And then I'm up at 4 a.m. going to my work. My life's mapped out for the next 48 hours. It comprises of bed, up, breakfast, work, home, something to eat, fall asleep, wake back up, stream a match if one is on, well, one worth watching, that is, in brackets, and then back to bed. And then it's the same for Sunday. Well, this is all over soon enough, because Spectre Dawn is one away from yet another Friday Night 9 ball. One of many that he's won. Oh, right. Do you want to rephrase that, Cobra? Well, Yama's in the same place that Wolfpack is, Hog. Although he wasn't there yesterday when I dropped in, but that's where he spends more of his time, in the other place. Well, I mean, if you keep going on that way, I'll give you gender alignment. I'll knock your balls down the back of your throat. Good evening to Slim and good night. Thanks for joining. This match is over. Always late to the party, Slim. You want to set your alarm. You would have had to have been here half an hour before this tournament started tonight, Slim, or you wouldn't have got in. It was full long before the start time. Yeah, well, yeah, that's true. Oh, dear. I'm a man, I know my limit. I'm a good man, I know my limitations. Well, there we go. Thank God for that. It's only 20 past 10 and I can get to my bed earlier. Well, unlucky to Tommy, but that's what happens in Friday Night 9 Ball. You go stone cold, you're sat there in the final, and then you've got an hour to wait before you play the final, and you lose all of that touch trying to hold out to survive in the final. So well done to Spectre Dawn. Well, it's not going to get any weirder because it's going to be a case of thanks guys for watching. I won't be streaming tomorrow simply because I don't want to sit for like the best part of 2 hours watching two guys banging at balls, with the greatest respect to anybody else. I'll bid you good night, stay safe, take care, and keep taking the tablets, and we'll see you again soon. There's no music and I'm not going to start singing, so good night.